I mean, it seems this is timely. We can start.
Okay, all right. Good afternoon, all. On behalf of Grant International Company, I welcome you all for today's webinar session, Better Design Team Collaboration with Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro. GIC is delighted to engage with you with our webinar series on different topics related to architecture, engineering, construction industry, and digital transformation. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items regarding today's event. First, the presentation audio is only supported through your computer speaker system. If at any time you experience audio issues, please try refreshing your browser or switching browsers. Secondly, all the attendees will be muted throughout the session and everyone can submit text questions by typing them into the chat section of your control panel. You can enter your questions at any time and we'll address them during the Q&A portion at the end of the presentation. If you don't get enough time to answer all your questions due to time constraints, it will reach you as a mail later. Before going to today's session, I'd like to give a quick introduction to GIC Qatar and Kuwait. We are an engineering solutions company providing technology solutions and services to architecture, engineering, and construction sector. We have regional offices in Kuwait and Qatar and a near future expansion to Saudi also. We provide a myriad of services and our prominent services include enterprise software solution, BIM training and implementation, performance hardware, networking and data security, and IT services. We cater different products and services. We are one of the largest enterprise software and hardware resellers. We help our customers with solutions like Autodesk, Adobe, Oracle, Microsoft, and hundreds of others bring their products to market, and we offer a wide range of technical and business support services as well. We are partners with Autodesk, having specialization in selling, promoting, consulting, and implementing the solutions for architecture, engineering, and construction customers. We are gold partners for Autodesk in both Qatar and Kuwait region. If you want to learn your favorite Autodesk software course, feel free to reach us. We are an Autodesk learning partner, authorized training and certification center as well. If you have a custom project training requirement, also try to reach us. Our team can prepare custom curriculum based on requirement and can do the tailor-made trainings also. So for any additional information, feel free to reach us. Now we can switch to our main agenda. Over to you, Shias.
Thanks, Mira, for the intro. Let me share my screen and let me know if things are all visible over here.
Looking good.
Thanks, Mira, again. I welcome all for today's session. We are thanking you all to give an opportunity to hear us. I will try to make this session as much as informative. And let's go through today's agenda. So throughout this session, as Mira said, you will be muted in order to cope up with the bandwidth. So you can unmute yourselves at the end of the session. There will be a Q&A, so you can unmute yourself and you can raise your queries. Or in between, anytime you can able to use the chat box for typing your queries. So we will address it later. So this is today's agenda. First of all, we will go through the ISO 19650 compliant data common data environment for distributed project teams. So here we will discuss about the importance of both the global BIM standards as well as the common data environment for making teams all together in one place in order to share the data in between. And then we can go through the different other topics which is mentioned over here. I request, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So let me start with the first session, ISO 19650 and the common data environment. So before starting, I would like to know, so what's the ISO 19650? So basically, many of you people are working in this specific code based on your requirement many of the time. So your consultant will be working with this. So your uh, client will be working with this specific code. So you have to work with this as well. So basically, ISO 19650 is a new international BIM standards family that defines the collaborative process for managing information over the whole life cycle of a built asset using the BIM. So ISO 19650 series enables teams to minimize wasteful activities and increase predictability around cost and time. So this standard can help all the AEZ project teams to build a cohesive way to share, publish and review design and construction documentation to ensure that all the parties have access to the right information at the right time. So another important aspect I would like to cover today related to today's context is the ISO 19650 standard provides guidance for storing and managing project data. So this includes the use of an information containers and a common data environment to support the 19650 processes. So what's a common data environment? So this is one good definition for a common data environment. A common data environment is the single source of information used to collect, manage, and disseminate the documentation, the graphical model, and the non-graphical data for the whole project team. So if we are going deep into each phrases which is shown over here, so the first thing, so here the single source of information is the actual platform itself, which we are using for these entire processes. So it can be the Autodesk Docs, BIM 360, Viewpoint, or any other extranet. And here the collect, manage, and disseminate documentation, which is a tightly controlled process of how things enter, move through, and leave the system. And the graphical model and the non-graphical data here is the information container, and it can be the documents, sheets, models, or drawings, or any other non-graphical data, unstructured data like drawings or like images or videos or voice. It can be anything. And finally, the project team can be any stakeholders involved in the project. Whether it can be owners, operators, consultants, general contractors, specialist subcontractors, etc. And this process is for the entire life cycle of the built asset from design to operate through plan and build. So why CD is required? The necessity of a common data environment arises after a series of phenomena. The first thing is now the owners are well aware of the benefits of the BIM. So organizations, governments are all tends to be the BIM mandates. So results in the requirement of handling a myriad of data types and a huge volume of information. The second thing is the digital transformation which happened in the IT industries heavily supports the distributed project team. So where the project personas can be distributed in a wide geographical area, say different countries or continents or different time zones. So this eventually results in a data explosion. So a huge volume of data should be handled. So a silo can be formed as a result. So this huge volume of data need to be handled, and the project team spent countless time for getting the right information. So let's have a look into the traditional way of this objection handling. So the traditional collaboration between various stakeholders on the project might be, you see here that I believe that everyone has everything, or in other words, everyone's information need to be issued to everyone. So you can see right the way the problems this was produced. So here there was a manual circulation of information with multiple copies of information created, then held by all the different stakeholders in a project. So this allowed to be left no collaboration or communication and minimal cooperation between different stakeholders. So there was no value and quality of information because there was no consistency in regards to ensuring that everyone had the latest set of information. So it took a while to search for the right information, and of course, there is no automatic workflows in this. So thinking this in an organization level, this will be the scenario. There will be lack of consistency and standardization, a lack of visibility into document activities, or dispersed lines of communication across the project team, or the project information is disorganized and siloed, or they have to leverage on multiple technology solutions. And this results in rework. Misinformations can be circulated, different versions of same documentation can be produced, and reduced win rate and losing of future work. And one major thing is the siloed information. And in a user level perspective, inconsistent and disconnected process and technologies on the projects, on manual process to check the documentation against the project standards will take more time than anticipated, and manual process for the approval workflows. So this will result in a to learn and adopt multiple solutions or prone to human error. So this is why the role of a common data environment and why it is so vitally important to the projects. So this common data environment, or placing all your information in a single location that can be managed and organized. This allows you the sharing of data from single source of truth. So everyone accessing the same version of information from a central repository. So this really enable true collaboration, communication, cooperation, because everyone is mutually working on the same side of the information. So data value and quality is maintained because of a proper revision control and access control into the system that everyone is accessing. So thinking in an organization level, so there will be access to the project document metadata, consistency and standardization of process, accurate document status information, and there is a single source of truth. So which in result will bring up-to-date project information, win more work with new and repeat customers, reduce the rework, and reduce the training process. And in the user's perspective, they can do more work with the limited tools, and they can automate the workflows and enhance project controls. So ISO 19650 Part 2, delivery phase of the assets have specific requirement related to the CDE solution and workflow. So it requires that CDE is established to allow project team and stakeholders to create and share information collaboratively. So this piece of information, this slide which you are seeing here, is directly taken from the ISO 19650 Part 2, delivery phase of assets. So this defines the characteristics of a CDE. So here the information container is a named persistent set of information retrievable from within a file system or application storage hierarchy. So structured information containers includes geometrical models, schedules, databases, while unstructured information containers includes the documentation or video clips and sound recordings and other miscellaneous file types. So another aspects that ISO stipulates is the naming convention. So ISO stipulates each information container should contain a unique ID, and it should be based on an agreed naming and identification system. So what you are seeing here is what ISO stipulates. So this will be the standard specification for the naming convention. So every project team should be adhered to. Another metadata to be provided is the suitability and status codes. So there are different status codes to be used at different while the information is at in different repositories. Each suitability codes have some specific meaning, and it is used for some specific set of workflows. And one last thing is the revision codes. So there will be two sets of revision codes to be used. While if the information or the container is within the work in progress area, we will just say it as preliminary revisions. Then once it is moved to the published area, then it can be the contractual with the different sets of information. Uh, for now, yeah, that's fine. So these are the key stages in the CDE concept. There will be four specific repositories. The first one, the work in progress. A state allows multiple task teams to develop information individually without other parties having access to it in line with their contribution to the project. And there is a shared space. Work in progress containers that are at a suitable level of development and completeness need to be passed through a process called check, review, or approve gateway to transition to being shared with the relevant task team or delivery teams or other stakeholders as required. And there is a published space. Once the information containers are deemed to meet the completeness against an information requirement, they must then pass through the retrieve authorize gateway in order to transition to the published state for use for contractual purposes, such as further detailed design for posting, for construction, or for the asset management. And at last, there is an archived space available. Additional for containers that have been in the shared or published states, ISO 19650 requires an archive states to be record past versions of the containers, as well as detail on who checked the information, when they check it, and what outcome was, who approves it, and who reviews it, providing a complete, transparent audit trail for the project information development. So let's have a look into the information movement from each repositories and corresponding changes in the metadata values. So let's assume the work in progress project team has to take an internal approval from its own team lead after going through a 5 iterations of design changes. So you can just see what will be the values for the revision and the status codes. And then the design model is to be moved to the shared space to getting consultant approval for the suitability for coordination, so that the team can create shop drawings from the models itself. So, and once the consultant approves it, it will fall back to the work in progress project area with the updated revision and the status metadata. So work in progress project team can now start working on the shop drawings. And now the drawings where are the information containers now need to get approval from the work in progress project team leader. And once it is approved, then this needs to be moved to the shared space again to get approval and authorization from the lead appointing party for the purpose of reviews or comments. So here you can see the changes in the metadata. So the status code is now changed to S3, which specifically for review and comments for the for the documents. And after the approval, the WIP project team is working on achieving the stage compliance. So they took approval from the team head after going through an internal approval workflow. And once got approval from the lead appointed party or the appointing party, now this achieved stage compliance and the document is now a contractual document. So you can see its status code as A5. So 5 here determines the project stage itself, and this can be moved to the published for the purpose of construction, and you can see the change in the metadata value now. And these documents can be archived from published repository or from any of the project repositories. So the next part that I'm about to cover is about the Autodesk CDE solutions and its compliance with the ISO codes. So here in one side you can see the ISO requirements, and on the other the features of Autodesk CDE is exhibiting. Autodesk has two CDE platforms. The first one is the Autodesk Docs, which is the unified construction platform, and the second one is the legacy platform, which is Autodesk BIM 360 Docs. So the first ISO requirement is that the document manager need to ensure compliance with the standard naming convention, and the both Autodesk Docs and BIM 360 are the same too. and also the provisions for providing the metadata in terms of status and revision codes. That thing is also available. To automate the review process and workflows is one specific thing that need to cover. And one last thing is verify that the files in the CDE have a unique ID. So improved document log reporting and enhanced search options are all available in both the uh, platforms here. So you can see you can have the freedom to set up the ISO 19650 compliant naming conventions or metadatas and the workflows inside the Autodesk CDE. So there are provisions available all here. And apart from that, you can enforce your common data environment folders with this specific rule. So if any files incoming violates the preferred naming convention, will not fall into the right folder structure, which is preferred before. Instead, it will fall on a temporary holding area unless it's compliant with the naming standard. And once it is compliant, then it can be moved to the right destination. Documents which is published directly from the AutoCAD, there are provisions all available. So if it is not compliant with the naming conventions, also will not take. And or if you are saving or publishing your documents using any of the other model authoring applications like Revit or Civil 3D using desktop connector, you can make sure that is also adhering to the naming conventions as per the BIM code that you're using. In case if not, it will prevent the data movement and will give you short notifications on that. So let's look into this fictitious design project done with Autodesk Docs Common Data Environment. Here is a distributed project team. Let's assume this project team is distributed over in a Middle East region, say Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi, and UAE. So here the project team can create the folder structure, which is which the ISO is specifying. So they can able to create different folder structures based on their own different project teams. It's just within the environment. And once the folder structures are all created, they can able to the project team can able to upload their project files. So here the common data environment allows you to readily view the BIM models inside the specific environment without use of any external applications. So the advantage here is using a web browser at any time, anywhere, you can able to access the project data. You can able to inspect the BIM properties of design elements that you work with. And also there are options to view the both 2D and 3D data inside the model itself. So this is a Revit model, so probably it contains both 2D data and 3D data. So the 2D views, let's say the sheet views or the plan views, anytime they can the project team can able to access. And in case the let's say the project lead identifies some kind of issues, and if they need to address to the project team, there are two ways. The first way is to create the markups, and the markups can be published so that the other project team members having the access to the file can view the markups which is done by their team lead. So they can able to make necessary design changes based on the information or based on the instruction they got uh, in this environment. So one another aspect is if the project team need to be alerted if there is any design flaws, then there is one another option available called the issue creation. So that is more dynamic. For an example, just viewing this particular file, so the project team identifies there is a wrong type of doors used in this project, so it should need to be changed with specific to the actual project information. So what they can do is they can be able to create a issue so that the issue can be created and assigned to any of the project teams, so that the required project team can able to make necessary changes to the project data. So here the issue metadata contains the due date, the type of issue, and any other references need to be make, like RFI documents need to be attached, then that can be also attached over here. And also verbal comments can be added over here. So all the issue related aspects can be checked over here. So one another aspect is the auto archiving of the document. Any version of the document is uploaded, it will we can have a track on that. So all the versions will be stocked over here. So we can able to compare the difference between two different versions. Let's say in this case, the project team is about to check the difference between version number 3 and version number 4 of the document. So any additions or omissions or property changes can be identified over here. And this property change can be visually checked against two different revisions as well. So project documents can be uploaded to the environment, and it can be sorted based on any specific attributes. So let's say the documents which is added over here, I would like to categorize some of the documents uh, to be in a category. Let's say it belongs to the 30% of the construction stage. So I would like to create different sets like CD 10% or CD 30% in order to identify which stage the project documents belongs to. And I can able to segregate or I can able to add segregate the particular documents into the right set. So let's say here I just move this one to the set belongs to the construction documentation stage 30%. And the documents can be readily viewable uh, inside the environment, and anytime the project team members can able to check the different versions, and they can able to make a visual comparison what are the changes which is happened between different period of the project. So another aspect is the robust permission levels. With this, you can restrict your user access to certain folders or limit access according to your user role or company. You can control sharing and design deliverable exchange with the assurance that the right information is in the hands of right project people. So the project admins can invite project people just by adding the members to this particular environment. So this is as easy as possible you can able to make it. So it can preserve the data of project people inside its registry, so that in the future projects also these people can be added in one shot. You can able to create different project specific roles, and they can be assigned with any specific modules of the based on the project usage. And the next important part is they can be assigned with the folder permissions, which is already created. So any folders which is created can be assigned with the people. So these people can be added with any specific permission levels, like view or create or modify. Any specific permissions levels can be assigned over here. So now we can check how this platform supports the design team to obtain approvals within the team or with the external stakeholders like consultants or clients or general contractors. So let's say this project team is having a set of documents which is received, and they have to send these documents for taking the consultant approval. So this is one specific thing which the ISO is stipulating. So information exchange between different repositories should be based on the right approval workflows. So here we can create the approval workflows. Let's say work in progress to shared for the reviews and comments for the construction documents. Let's say this is the purpose for this case. So the project document manager or the project lead for the contractor side, they can able to send these documents, and also they can able to notify any of their project team itself just by adding some specific notes. So what will happen next is the approving party will get an email notification, and from one click they can able to access the documents in the CDE space. So this drastically reduce the time for sending approvals through the mail system and all, and everything will be tracked. So this is how this thing will be visible from the approver's end. They will get a mail notification, and one click they can able to hyperlink to the project where the files has been sent for the approval. They can just go to the reviews tab. So inside that, the approval documents will be all shown over here, so that they can able to start a review. So they can see three documents are all available. They can start review. They can able to go through the documents itself, and once it is found it is suitable for approving, they can able to change the approval status to approved. And let's say the last document is not compliant with in some aspects. So the approver can able to add some comments over there, like check the compliance with the IFC, and they can able to approve this one with the comments as well. Or in case if some documents need to be rejected, they can do that thing as well. So this is a streamlined process. So once they can able to submit the review, so the initiator of the document will get the mail notification, and they can able to um, go to their specific part of the project in order to check the status of the entire process. So let's go to the initiator part. So what they can do is they can just go to the reviews part again. So this project persona can able to see that the submittal workflow has been closed by the approver, so that they can able to see which documents has been approved and which is approved with comments and what comments has been added. So the entire timeline will be available over here. So this drastically reduced the time where the document is halted in between different parties, and this is a streamlined process. So once if the document is in one stage, if it is approved, then it will automatically reach the next party to get his work started over there, and it will all show what will be the status from the document repository itself. So this is a robust process that we can able to perform within the CDE space. And the next thing is we can able to check how the platform supports the cloud-based concurrent design authoring. Here shown is the evolution of the design collaboration. So around 10 years before, it will be basically like a single team for location firewall network using LAN or similar kind of networking option. So basically, there will be limited collaboration, and daily management is required. And from there, now it has reached much more sophisticated, like enterprise multiple allocation firewall, which requires complex hardware requirements, like hyper servers or proxies are required in order to connect to different offices. So basically now it is the era of the cloud. So multiple project, multiple companies, multiple access. So people from any part of the world can access the project using the cloud. So that is what ABC Pro or Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro is offering. What is ABC Pro? Basically, Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro is having features for the cloud-based document management, concurrent authoring from the Revit designers, Civil 3D designers, and Plant 3D designers. And also, there are many more aspects that I can show in the upcoming slides. So basically, BIM Collaborate Pro is a unique platform which contains four different modules. The first part is the Autodesk Docs, which is an ISO 19650 compliant CDE system, manages all people, project, processes, and data. And the second part, the cloud work sharing, which enables Revit, Civil 3D, and Plant 3D users work concurrently through the cloud. And the design collaboration part enables the design teams to share their design packages with other teams in a connected environment, so that the design team can analyze the contents of the document, share the different versions of document, and create packages to share with the other teams as well. And at last, there is a model coordination module, which enables identifying the coordination issues while the design is progressing, so that the design team can correct their models on the go. And this is entirely an automated process. Before, Autodesk has this legacy platform called BIM 360 Design, and now it has been rebranded as the ABC Pro with much more robust features. And one advantage is with ABC Pro subscription, the users can access both BIM 360 and the new Autodesk Construction Cloud projects as well. Now we can check how this platform supports the Revit designers. So let's assume this is a fictitious project where an architectural design team have to use cloud in order to use for the work sharing. So what they can do is they can able to use the cloud platform or the CDE platform as the repository for storing the project information. So from the right project, from the right side, from the right folder, the work in progress project team can upload their design files, and anytime they can simply use the synchronization features which is inside the Revit to synchronize or update the latest information to the cloud. So the advantage of this particular thing is even if the team is distributed at any countries or any geographical location of the world, they can still able to access the project and they can able to work concurrently. So once they can able to use the features of Autodesk Docs in order to publish the latest contents. If there is some design changes which has happened and the project team have to publish the latest sets which is created, let's say drawings or sheets or specific 3D model, 3D views. If they need to publish, they can able to create the packages and they can able to publish the same with the cloud. So this specific part is available within the Revit environment. So once the document has been published, the other project team which is having the access to the same folder location can view using the cloud features. So here the this particular part has been published, and we can check how it will be visible from the other end. So let's say this architectural team lead is just viewing the document which is uploaded by, which is published by the work in progress for project team. They can able to inspect the contents of the document. Let's say here the BIM properties of the walls, or even they can able to create the sectioning tools in order to inspect the contents of the BIM models using the cloud platform itself. So here they are not using any kind of model authoring applications in order to view these specific things. So instead they are entirely using the BIM viewer which is available within the cloud environment. And this is what we are calling it as swim line. And inside the swim line, if the project design team head finds the information is suitable for sharing with the other design parties, so let's say interior designers, or to share with the MEP team or with the structural team. They can simply create a package, and this package can be shared with the other team with some specific notes in order to show what are the contents of the latest packages. So once if it is shared, and let's say the project team again is making some design changes to the model. Let's say in the lower level part of the project team is changing the one of the wall type into a different type. So some changes in the geometry as well as materials has been made, and a new door has been placed in other specific area of the project. And this is a new addition. And apart from that, if some omissions need to be done, let's say one specific part of the project, one of the doors has to be removed. So this is an omission. So this much changes has been made by the design team. So they can simply able to synchronize with the central in order to update the latest changes. And if this need to be published in order to notify the other project members, they can simply use the publish options, which is available inside the Revit, in order to publish the latest sets of data. So what they can do is they can select the right project, and from there they can able to publish the latest sets. And on the other hand, the project team lead of the same team, they can able to inspect the contents over there using the same cloud feature. So in the project status, it is showing that a new file has been published. They can able to view using the visualization options available over here called change visualization. So what this particular part enables is they can visually identify what are the changes between the latest two packages which is received. So additions, if a new element has been added, the BIM properties can be viewed. Omissions, if some elements has been removed, it will show that thing as well. And property changes, so they can able to inspect in the two different versions. For example, this particular door wall has a different width in two different uh, stages of the project, so they can able to view from there. And the next thing is if it is found suitable for sharing with the other design teams, so they can able to create a new package again based on the project phase, and it can be shared. So what will happen is it will automatically create a shared space within the common data environment. From in that shared space, this particular document will fall. So the shared space is the place where every other project stakeholders can have the access, or the other design team have an access. So from there, the other project team can able to take the files. So here, this is the interior design team. So this particular team have to rely on the main architectural model in order to make the design changes accordingly. So they have to collaborate with the cloud, so they can able to utilize the CDE space. So what they can do is they can just save the file. They can able to synchronize the file using the cloud. So in the CDE space, they can able to select the folder which they can have the access with. So they can simply go to the the project which they can have the access with, and from there they can able to access that specific folder which they can have the access with. So here in the interior design, in the models part, they can able to save their BIM models. And once the model has been saved, and if they have made some design changes, they can able to upload the latest information. And in case if they need to extract or link the other BIM models. Let's say in this case, the architectural model has to be linked in order to work with. So they can able to link the architectural files itself. So they can use the link Revit. So in order to link the other models, they can able to utilize the Autodesk desktop connector, which is like a local synchronizer for the cloud-based CDE. So this will show just like in the Windows Explorer, the files or the folders which the project team can have access with. From there, they can able to, from the shared space, they can able to select the right project files in order to link or extra the same thing. So this is how the design team can work concurrently, and if they need to view or they have to publish some specific design changes to their cloud-based platform, they can able to perform. So by this way, the architectural team, the structural team, the different subdisciplines of the MEP team, they can able to work all together in the same environment using the cloud-based features. So when the entire project team is involved in a clash detection and resolution, issues can be identified and solved without waiting for the coordination meetings using the clash detective features available inside the ABC Pro. So like I said, there is a coordination model coordination option available. So the project team can utilize the features of a model coordination. So let's say I can just move to some specific part of the project. Yeah, this is fine. So here in the model coordination, it will show the automated clash detective features based on the different project files you have been added into the coordination space. So the project team can be notified by creating issues so that the work in progress project team can able to make design changes based on the issues which is identified within the model coordination space. So if we are making the same shared space as the coordination space on the go, if any issues has been identified, that can be rectified while the project is progressing. Before moving to the any particular LOD phases. And now we can check how this platform can support the civil 3D designers. So basically, civil 3D designers can utilize the cloud platform for storing their design files, whether it can be survey files or road alignments or utilities, or whatever disciplines and subdisciplines in the civil infrastructure they can able to utilize the cloud features, and they can able to use the project team leads, like say the project managers or the other reviewers can able to utilize the document management space in order to view the files and in order to create markups and issues in order to communicate the things with their project team. And they can able to utilize the desktop connector in order to extrafing or linking their specific project files. So let's say the surveyor, these are the parties who are creating the terrain data first. Let's say they are having an land XML file and they just need to upload the same to the cloud-based environment. So the other parties, let's say the road engineer can utilize the data shortcuts features which is available inside the Civil 3D in order to fetch the contents of the terrain data so that they can able to create their road alignment and all. So the draftsman, they can able to use the same data shortcut features available within the Civil 3D, can extract the contents of the road design file for the alignment, and they can able to start creating the production drawings itself. And the project managers, they can view the files directly from the common data environment, can view the latest contents, and in case if some kind of corrections or some kind of markups need to be put, they can able to make, and if they need to communicate some issues with their project team, they can able to create the issues as well. So at a glance, we can able to check how this is happening inside the Civil 3D. So they can use they can upload the files into the CDE space using the upload features available, and they can extract the design files, and they can utilize the data shortcuts in order to fetch the contents of the files. And also this enables users in order to lock the files so other team members cannot able to access. And also they can able to create the markups, compare different versions, or creating issues. All these features are all available within this environment in order to productive collaboration between the project team, and it will save a drastic time. And also the design coordination issues can be also identified and rectified using this platform for the civil infrastructure users also. And there are some supporting features which the platform can provide. The first one is the Revit issue add-in. This is an application which is available free to download. And with the Revit issue add-on, so any issues which is identified within the common data environment can be readily accessible within the Revit itself, so that the users can directly view what issues has been assigned for them, so that they can able to make necessary design changes. So before this particular part, they have to rely on some open standard file formats like BIM Collaborate format, BCF kind of platforms they have to use. And another feature which ABC Pro is offering is the insight or the project dashboard. So this feature inside the ABC Pro gives you a clear picture into the project performance, allowing you to make quicker and more informed business decisions and issue predictions before they became costly holdups. And there are predictions and analytic capabilities. So the insight module of Autodesk Docs present and data and analytics capabilities in a unified project home. So dashboards and reports or partner data integration and easy customization features helps teams to manage risk by giving them personalized visibility into the daily priorities. So any specific project team can able to visit this particular dashboard so that they can able to identify is there any kind of issues which is assigned for them, or any specific documents where they need to give approvals. So such kind of things can be checked over here, a robust feature. And the next thing is the Autodesk Desktop Connector. So as I explained before, so this particular platform helps the users for linking and external referencing files locally within their machines. And this works exactly like a mirror of the cloud-based common data environment. And one another aspect I would like to discuss is about how the design team can perform pre-tender estimations with the Autodesk Takeoff. So basically, Autodesk Takeoff is a different subscription apart from the ABC Pro, and these features like the same Autodesk Doc CDE environment for stocking or managing the files, whether it is model based or drawing based, and this have some other features like the project team management and taking quantifications from the 2D sheets or drawings or from the 3D BIM models. So we can have a look into this environment. So basically, sheets can be added as packages, and before adding packages, the project team can able to add the required catalogs. So catalogs, yeah. So basically, this is the project catalog. So where this is basically a structure of how the project elements has been organized. There are some specific classifications available, like Uniformat 2 or the Omniclass kind of classifications. So if your project team is using any specific or custom classification system, you can utilize that specific part also. So you can simply upload your classification system to the environment. Then you can able to create the packages. So for quantifications, you can upload the right project documents, and if it is the 2D to 2D documents, let's say a PDF or AutoCAD drawings. So here for the first case, the PDF can be calibrated by checking by measuring two specific uh, project areas, so that the once it is calibrated, accurate quantities can be taken out. So there are different sets of quantifications available. Area-based calculations for calculating the floor areas or wall areas. Line-based for taking the distance, taking the quantifications for the railing types or wall lengths kind of thing. And there is also number-based calculations in order to take the counts of elements, and there is a volumetric calculation in order to take the quantifications of 3D elements in a volumetric basis. So based on the drawings or based on the models, you can able to specify the project area, and from there you can able to take the quantifications of the elements based on the classification systems you have added. And one advantage here is from the 3D model based calculations. Let's say this is a Revit model. So Revit basically features all elements with a specific property called its category. So elements can be created as a cluster. So in one go, the elements can be classic elements can be separated based on its category, and from there we can able to identify where any kind of quantifications are yet to take, or for how many elements we have already take the quantifications. So these kind of checks can be also done over here. So this is entirely based on this cloud-based platform for Takeoff. So benefits are like manage sheets and models within the Autodesk docs. There is no specific requirement for any other common data environment. You can still able to use the existing, and we can able to take off of take the takeoff of linear elements, the count or area based. We can able to take 3D takeoffs from the BIM models itself, and there is no limits for the projects or file storage. Any number of files can be uploaded, and we can able to take care of. And subscriptions is very much flexible. You can able to easily add subscriptions based on the number of the project teams once if it is progressing. And at last, we can just go through the business benefits for designers, IT, and executives. For the designers, they can have the access to the project at any time, anywhere, at any location of the project, and they can have an access to the files. So the transparency and accountability is enhanced, and the security kind of permissions kind of things can be easily enabled, and is also compliant with the BIM standards and BIM codes that they are using. Another aspect is the this is easy to use. So anytime any project member can start working with in a very first day of their working. And versioning and disaster recovery is one another option this particular platform which is offering. So since it is auto archived like a time machine, you can go to the data at any specific time of the project. You can able to recover. And this is suitable for all the cross-discipline project teams, architects, engineers, civil engineers, or GIS, people working in the infrastructure side or people working in the plant side. They can able to easily use the project at one time. And for the principals and executives, the one specific thing is they can able to reduce the cost of the IT hardware, since because it is using the cloud as the environment. And the next thing is with this support, their project team not need to be in the station at any specific part. They can work from anywhere, relatively anywhere they can work with. And for the IT team, the one specific part is the security concern. So it can address all the security related things. You can just visit the Autodesk Trust Center so that you can able to see what certifications Autodesk is having for their cloud-based products and all. And here, I would like to show a few customer success stories. Some companies in the Middle East area have been effectively utilized the cloud-based workflows of cloud-based design collaboration workflows extensively in some of the projects in the Middle East area. The first one is the Red Sea project, which is done by the Red Sea Development Company. The second thing is KEO for their different projects in the Qatar, Kuwait, and UAE and Saudi regions. They have effectively utilized the legacy platforms as well as uh, uh, the new construction cloud platform for their projects. SSH is one another consultant having projects in most of the Middle East area is effectively utilizing these platforms. So that's all from my end, and I would like to invite questions from your side, and you can unmute yourselves and you can ask your queries. Or Amorita and Mira, if there is any questions which is fall on the chat box, you can ask them as well. Thank you.